You're not supposed to bury your children.
He was about to be 18.
I wish he were still here.
He had so much ahead of him.
There was so much I needed to tell him.
She was only 16.
I miss him.
My best friend is gone now.
He told me, but I didn't do anything.
He said he'd see me Monday. I'll be waiting for Monday the rest of my life.
Hi. For those of you who don't know, my name is Faith Simmons, and my brother died of suicide. He hung himself in our backyard, and I remember the day that we went out. We looked all over the house for him and we couldn't find him. I remember my dad was the first to find him in the backyard, and my dad screamed and my mom went over and she screamed too. I didn't know what was going on. I was in 6th grade and I had no idea that there were such horrible things as my parents screaming for their child. I remember going around the house, and my other brother was gone at the time, and I remember when he came back and he found out what Taylor had done, he threw himself on the ground, and for a second I thought he was going to throw himself in the street because we were on the cement right out front. Suicide is a really painful thing for everybody involved, not just the one who commits suicide. My brother, he was having problems, and we were trying to help him, but we didn't know to what extent. And he took his life one day, and now we don't have him anymore. I don't think he would have given up on his life so soon if he would have seen what effect it had on us. I know it really affected me. I'm usually the strong one in my family, but I can't always be strong, and it was hard after his death. I stopped going to Barindo and I started going to a private school because I couldn't deal with so many people there. I guess I judged myself because I never really liked Taylor compared to my other brother. I thought he was weird and gross, but I guess I regret it a lot. My parents, they thought that they had been bad parents, that they hadn't listened. They blamed themselves. Jordan was the last one to see my brother before he died, and he thinks that if he would have just gone the other way, he would have been able to stop my brother, and then everything would have been fine. Suicide is a very painful thing, and I don't want anybody else to have to go through that. And I know I can't save everybody, but if I can help at least one person, then that will really benefit to me and to everybody else.
Hi, my name is Sergeant Ron Smith. I'm a sergeant with the Roswell Police Department here in Roswell, New Mexico. My job title is I'm effectively the sergeant over our crime scene unit. My job entails dealing with any crime that's committed, to include homicides and or suicides. We treat any suicide in the beginning as if it were foul play, as it were a homicide, until it can be determined for sure that somebody took their own life. During my time as an officer here in Roswell, I have dealt with about 20 suicides, and about 6 of which were teen suicides. Dealing with teen suicides, the statistics actually work along with most of the national statistics when it comes to the difference between male and female. Males tend to not care what happens to their body when it happens. Therefore, gunshots or that kind of device, a traffic crash, is suitable for them to do it and commit their suicide. But females tend to actually care what happens to their body, and so it's usually by pill. But I have seen 2 in this town of teenagers actually hanging themselves. To go along with that dealing with a teenager, or anybody for that matter, who is committed to committing suicide, a lot of the times it would simply take standing up, rolling over, doing something different that was within their power to do to save their own life. Dealing with the families of suicide is really rough, because part of our job is to go out and inform family members, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, that their loved one has indeed taken their own life. We have ways of doing that, and primarily we like to take along with us clergy, somebody of one of our chaplains. If at all possible, we'll find the family's pastor, chaplain, and have them come with us so that the grief counseling can start. They know where to go, they know who to talk to. Dealing with the teens myself, I have yet to come across what I can actually say to help out a teen when they get to a point. The thing that I've learned throughout my years in the military and through this is there are signs that it can and may be going to happen. Those signs may not be evident to a family member as much as you think, because family members, we all tend to look beyond what might be troubling somebody, because it's denial, it's natural denial that that's going to be happening in our family. So what I would say to teenagers, not just the ones that are thinking about it, but their friends, notice the changes. Pay attention to what your friends are saying. A lot of times they will give you the clues to what they're thinking. And don't be afraid to speak up and try to help your friends. In the long run, that will be the way that we can save one or all those lives.
Hello, my name is Dr. Pignon. I want to talk about some of the signs and symptoms to look for suicide. The best way to remember this is a mnemonic titled SAD persons. S would be sex. Males are more prone to suicide than females. Age, young adults ages 19 or older than 45. Under the age of 19 and those older than the age of 45. Depression, whether a history of this, if not being treated, enough to be clinically significant. P stands for previous suicide attempt, especially or receiving mental health treatment for this. E is excessive alcohol or drug abuse. R is rational thinking is lost. S, separated or divorced or widowed, especially in older men. O is organized suicidal plan or serious attempt. N is a no or little social support. We see this in a lot of older populations. And finally, S is sickness or chronic illnesses. The other things to look for are when people start giving their precious collections away or start making plans about their departure. Please take these into consideration as well. Thank you.
My brother committed suicide, and he told his friends how he's feeling, but like any other teenagers, they didn't know how to react. There are ways to get help though. You can tell your school counselor, or a teacher, or somebody that you can trust. They'll know how to help you, or they can get help for you. Call the suicide hotline. Or, above anything else, have fun with your friends. Go out and enjoy the life that you're living. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.